Well, hello, my friend. Welcome to Breakfast with Sergio. In this episode, I want to talk to you about should I make postcards of my art in the digital age? Well, my friend, welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. I'm here in my Chicago studio, and I want to talk to you about is it worth your time, your money, your effort to make postcards with your art on it? In a world in which everything happens digitally, in a world in which everything goes, through email, through website, through social media, is it worthwhile to do these things anymore? Is there any value on making postcards, which is the way that most of us, if you've been around for a while, this is how we used to do it, right? There was no other way. If you had a show, you printed a bunch of cards, or the gallery would print a bunch of cards, pass them around, send it to your friends, go to in town and give them to people. Perhaps, if you had an event, you would do the same, or maybe even if you didn't have anything, you would still make them just as a self-promotion item. Now, then the digital age came around, email became really strong, social media became huge, and now hardly anybody makes postcards anymore. So is it of any value today as an artist to make postcards, to print material that you can use as marketing collateral? And the answer, I think, my friends, is yes. Just because we have switched to a digital medium doesn't mean this no longer works or this is no longer useful. I think, in the contrary, because everybody has moved from print media to digital media, or at least most people have moved to that, there's still value on this, in which now, because everybody's doing email and social and everything digital marketing, when you send somebody a postcard, which is handwritten in the back side of it, you have an advantage. You have an advantage because now, because nobody else is doing it, now you have the attention of the person who you're sending it to. I mean, if you remember the days when you opened your mailbox and it was full of junk mail, well, that's what email is right now, right? You open your email inbox and you're like, more. You just go delete, right? That's what we used to do with mail back in the day. You had a stack of stuff and you just go throw it out in the garbage. Well, now, because that has changed and you don't get that much mail, I think when you send a postcard, particularly to someone that you want to connect with, and then you put a handwritten note in the back, you have an advantage. And I tell you this from my own experience as a curator. So many artists send me invites through email, right? I get so many emails with invites to shows and events, or artists, showing me their work and so on. And well, it's so easy to miss them. It's hard to reply to everybody, and it's just difficult. But when somebody sends me a postcard or a little booklet or something that is handwritten in the back, I stop. No matter what I'm doing, I stop to look at it. Why? Because nobody does it anymore. So it pulls your attention. And so you pull it, you want to read it, because somebody, again, who's handwriting anymore, right? So, because somebody took the time to handwrite the note, you want to read it, you want to know what they say. And that, my friends, I think is still a great marketing tool for you as an artist. So one way in which you can use that is, I recommend look at maybe a couple of your most iconic or most recognized works that you have done that people like the most, make a nice postcard out of them, and maybe just order 50 or so out of each, however you can afford, even 25 that we just find. And now it's a lot easier. It used to be that printing postcards was really expensive. Now it's super cheap. And especially if you do one-sided. If you do a one-sided postcard, then you have the whole back to write the address of where you're sending it to, and more importantly, make a handwritten note to somebody that you want to invite for a show, somebody you want to present your work to, somebody that you're asking for their support of any kind. It's a great way to do it. And make sure that if you're going to use this method, again, what I recommend is that you personalize it. Make it personal for the person who's receiving this postcard, so that, it really pulls their attention. Don't make it look like just another piece of junk mail. But I think, my friend, we sometimes oversee the things that we used to do, because everybody moves in one direction, and now we are in the new thing, right, in the digital marketing era. But that doesn't mean that something that you used to do is no longer working. Same thing with a phone call, right? Because now everybody sends emails and messaging and so on. We think that, phone call. Who makes a phone call, right? And there's still value on phone calls. Sometimes I make a phone call and I just say hi to somebody, a collector or somebody I have worked with in the past, just to say hello. And even if they don't reply or they don't answer the phone, and I leave a personal message, there's still a lot of value where I get a message back from that person, say, hey, thanks so much for the call. Caught me by surprise, or I wasn't expecting it, or whatever. And there's a lot of value on that personal touch. So as an artist, the closer you are to the person on the other side that you want to connect with, find ways in which you can personalize that experience versus doing what everybody else is doing. Think about the volume of content that the other person is receiving, right? If you send an email, you know that you're going to be one in hundreds of emails that person will receive in the next few days. So the likelihood that they're going to take the time to go and read that email, is very slim, unless, there's something that they're expecting or somebody that knows you really well. But when you send a postcard with a handwritten note, and maybe you follow up with another postcard if you don't hear anything back, again, at least that probably they saw it. And depends what's in the postcard and what you are telling them. But again, I think it's something that it still has a lot of value. So in this episode, my friend, I recommend to do that even if you haven't done a postcard in a long time. I think it's not too late. I think you should do it. Just pick the one image that you like the most. As far as size, it's up to you. This is a 5x7. I find 5x7s to be a nice size that can fit on any purse, portfolio, or inside of a book. It's easy still to mail versus the bigger cards or the strange sizes that they maybe look really nice, but it's kind of hard to keep them somewhere. At least a 5x7 postcard is a typical size that fits just about everywhere. Even if you want to keep it, I can put it in my back pocket to check it out later, and it still fits really nice. So I hope, my friend, you enjoyed this episode of Breakfast with Sergio. Please share it with your friends. It will make me really happy. Follow me on Instagram at Sergio Gomez Art, and also on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe at Sergio Gomez Video. And thanks so much for watching, my friend. Super happy, and I hope you have a great day. See you later.